Hey, Dimitri, say hi to Harold. Hey, David. All right. We're about ready here. You know what I can't believe? I can't believe it's almost the end of the school year. Today is our last live stream broadcast. So I appreciate you guys who have been getting on regularly. And I know that you, by doing so, you have made yourself much more well prepared for, guess what, next year. Little secret, you ended up the school year doing a science experiment. You're going to start the school year next year doing a science experiment. Only this time, hopefully, it'll be in the classroom and we will be seeing each other's beautiful faces. So, anyways, this is our last live stream, Mr. Voss Knight. Let's talk about. I think everybody I'm seeing has turned their stuff in, and Meech turned. I'm gonna point to you, Meech, because you turned your stuff in on paper and by email. Totally did their project by writing things out, making a chart, making a graph rather, and photographing it, turning it in, videotaping science experiment, turning it in. And I gotta tell you, and David did also, totally enjoyed watching both of those. Perfectly okay to have turned it in that way. The preferred method would be Google Docs. The obvious reason is when you take a picture of something, sometimes it's very difficult to see it. And I start to think that maybe you guys were writing with a quill. But some of it was kind of hard to see. I got my old grandpa glasses out and is kind of looking at things and trying to read it and work through it. Managed to read through the photographs that I got. Of course, for me, it's a lot easier to look at a Google Doc, and I would think it would be easier for you to type something up, but I don't know. That's the preferred method, but it didn't affect Meech's grade at all for him to turn the thing in the way he turned it in. And I so enjoy it. Really, when I watched, and David and Meech, when I watched you guys' video, it really made me realize how much I miss you guys and how much I'm looking forward to next year. Going to be a long summer. I'm going to be busy with my projects around the house. And I will be posting stuff on my YouTube channel. So yeah, I might be lucky enough to see you in the grocery store. If not, I'd probably see your mom or dad in the grocery store. I've seen them a few times. Really do miss you guys. Your smiling faces. Talking over the top of me. I miss that too. Seriously, so let's talk about what are you going to do for summer to keep you from having to complete more dogs. Sounds good. To keep you from having a complete mind dump over the summer. Hey, Dakota, glad to see you, buddy. And so we're talking about, making sure we get things in, using Google Docs to get things submitted, or taking pictures and selling them. You guys have been trying to move for 2 years. I'm teasing you, but not teasing you. I hope you don't move too far. I hope you stay in the area. You're not moving to Texas, are you? It's hot down there. You'll never come out. You'll never go out of the house. You guys have been trying to move for a while. I know it's not so easy to pick up and move somewhere else, and it takes a lot of money to move, and a lot of time and a lot of effort, and it's no fun. I don't want to move again. If I do move again, it's going to be because I hit the lottery and I'm paying somebody else to do it for me. So you usually bust your back up for a few days. But let's get back to what we were talking about. Getting stuff submitted early so that I can look it over and make any change, help you make any changes, so you can get your A. Want to give everybody an A, because if you got an A, that means you've learned something, and it's really cool. Yeah, it's really cool to see if somebody does an experiment. And the one thing I've been watching for when I'm watching your experiments that you videotaped is seeing a moment where you realize something, or where and you go, oh, that's not what I expected, and you're verbalizing something. Sometimes it's even a hand movement. I saw David in his video. I didn't see his face. And so I saw him go like this, and I thought, I wonder what that means. I wonder if that means, boy, I didn't expect that. And so those are little learning moments that you can pick up as a teacher, and we see it in each other when the light bulb goes off, and you're like, oh, I just learned something. And that's what it's all about, is learning something. And you do that by experimentation. And so I shared with the other class what I think is a really cool idea. That's just me, but I'm going to share it with you guys too. I hope you guys remember watching the video of the dad trying to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich following his kids' instructions. And it was funny. They were getting frustrated. Moment of honesty, I struggle with getting thoughts and ideas that are in my brain onto paper or onto a document on the computer. I struggle with that. I sure can talk, and I can talk a lot, but for me to actually get stuff on paper, for me, is pretty difficult. It's a real challenge. And so how do you get better at things other than working on those skills? And so my thought was to turn what is you would think of as a task into a game, into something fun. And so I want you to think about doing this over the summer, so that you don't have a brain dump on this. And when you come back on the fall, we're going to do scientific method all over again when we start. Fall, I say fall, it'll be August when we come back. And I'm praying that we'll be in a classroom setting. It might be different than what we expect in a classroom setting, but hopefully we'll be able to see each other and learn in a different setting. We're learning at a much slower pace here online than we normally would in the classroom, because we got every day. So we don't know what to expect in the fall. The state has put out some guidelines, And of course, they're probably subject to change. But the idea of making a game into writing instructions, I think would, in my mind, would be a pretty fun thing to do, where you can come up with whatever you want. Maybe maybe it's a written version of hide and seek, where you hide something and you have to write the instructions of how to find it. Something that's hidden really, really good, and you have to write instructions. Thank you, Mr. Foss Knight, and I'm really proud of these guys too. They've done an awesome job, and looking forward to getting a few more things from a few more people. And we'll call that game Treasure Hunt. If you guys are smart, you'll work on it over the summer. You'll refine it, and we'll see it on the shelves in Walmart in the fall. I'm serious. You could do something like that. And so that if you make that into a treasure hunt, where you could do it with a brother, a sister, mom, dad, grandpa, grandparents, aunts, uncles, where you got a set of instructions that they have to attempt to follow. Okay. And if you don't write the right instructions, they're not going to get there. And they may take a left when they're supposed to take a right, or go up when they're supposed to go down, or look in the wrong thing because you weren't specific about opening a door. And so this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, where you guys totally need to do something like this. Will this help you in science? Absolutely. Will it help you in life? Absolutely. And what do I mean by that? We're learning to communicate better. It's going to help you in language arts. It's going to help you if you have to write or something in science, provide evidence. It's going to help you, or in social studies, I was talking about, we have to provide evidence to state your claim. If you're stating an opinion in social studies, in science, writing instructions, explaining. When we get to the explaining part, being able to do this is a skill that's going to go across the board. You know how else it might work? When you're in a relationship with somebody, to learn to communicate better, right? What happens if the other person that we're trying to communicate doesn't understand what we're saying? We start to get frustrated, right? We start to get mad. When there's no need to, if we have the ability to communicate exactly what we're feeling. So this goes well beyond science for you guys, and you can make it into something that could be hilarious, something that could be fun. I remember once doing a road rally when I was a teenager, and a road rally is you have to follow the instructions that you are given. Go 0.2 of a mile, turn right, and you literally have to go on this road rally, and there's checkpoints where you have to look for a sign, and you have to write down what's on the sign, and so it was my mom, because she was the driver, and me and my brothers, and we failed miserably because we had such a hard time following the instructions. Were the instructions written very well? No, some of them were vague on purpose, because then you had to figure it out. The other side of it is, how do we interpret something? 8675309, that's right. So how do we interpret somebody's instructions? I know there's been a lot of time where I've written instructions as a teacher, and you guys go, I don't understand what you want me to do, Mr. Soriani. I just don't get it. And I'm thinking, All right. What the heck did I do wrong? What do I have to fix and so we learn from those things, whether no matter which end we're on, and to have it turn into a fun game, I thought just an idea for you guys. Getting back to getting assignments turned in, I've gotten a lot of stuff. Don't expect me to be able to grade everything right away. And if there's something fundamentally wrong with it, or if there is something wrong with it, I'm going to say, hey, this is good, this is good, this is good. This needs to be fixed if you want to get all your points. You can choose to get, maybe you still get an A, but you'll get an A minus instead of an A plus. And it's not so much about getting all your points from me. It's about you guys. Do you understand? Are you learning? And getting through that process. And I've said that time and time again. We're at that point where we have a week. You guys have to have absolutely everything in by next Thursday, because I have to turn my grades in the next morning. And that's pushing things. That means if you send me something, I have to take it as is. I don't have time to send it back to you and have you relook at it, fix it, and send it back to me. So this is almost like an open book test, in the sense that if you do something wrong, you have a chance to fix it. I wasn't sure what I do for this step, Mr. Suriani, but I did everything else. Okay, here's how you do this step. And then you do it. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Or that's almost there. And so we have a week to do that. We're done next week. We're absolutely done. This is a holiday weekend, so that really means I only have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because I'm not going to be around this weekend. Hint, hint, I am, but I'm not getting on my computer. It's a holiday weekend. I'm not planning on it. I may, but I'm not planning on it. And so getting back to what I'm saying, get your stuff in if you haven't. Some of you have done experiments and need to finish up paperwork or packets. Packets need to get brought back in. And just understand that what we just did, what you did at home, which were really cool experiments, you're going to be doing something similar in school when we come back. Each year you get challenged a little bit more, right? Because we're getting smarter as we get older. And so you will be challenged a little bit more. The depth of your science experiment, it'll be a little bit more difficult to challenge you and to make you think. So I'm about done here. I'm talking myself silly. And if you have any questions, please ask. And if not, we're going to get out of here, and you guys are free. Woohoo! And understand, if you got your projects done, you just gave yourself an extra week of summer vacation from science class. If you got your stuff done, you just gave yourself an extra week of summer vacation. If you don't, get it finished up, and you don't have to think about it for weeks, right? I wish you guys all the best. I don't know who Practical is, but that's hilarious. I wish you guys the best, and hope you have a wonderful, wonderful summer. And well, Dakota, that's probably something that that's something we can talk about. That's, you can talk to Mr. Fosnight about that if you're going to be seeing him in a little bit. This is not a closed YouTube. It doesn't have to be, okay? And so we're broadcasting for my kids. So no real questions. And if you guys are all set, we'll get off of here. Mr. Practical, thank you for not being rude. I appreciate that. And you have a wonderful day, my friends. And love you guys and hope to see you when the school year starts back. All righty. Feel free to ask me questions. My email is up there at the top of the live chat. And we will see you. Yep. All right. Have a good summer. All right. Say goodbye to Harold too. Bye, Harold.